to present initial scientific findings surrounding the object now known as the Buga sphere, a mysterious flying sphere recovered in the town of Buga, Colombia.
An astonishing discovery occurs when a metal object, previously unknown, displays the unusual ability to absorb an entire high-energy particle beam rather than simply reflecting it. The Buga sphere discovery in Colombia could help answer some disturbing possibilities of this phenomenon. This is not an internet rumor or conspiracy, as this story involves a legitimate metal sphere that fell out of the sky in March 2025 and landed on a field not far from Buga, Colombia. Once they actually arrived at the object, the researchers began to detect some characteristics of the perfectly round object that challenged our most basic understandings of physics and engineering. But if this sphere truly isn't man-made, then who or what designed it to defy the laws of physics? Discovery and physical characteristics of the Buga sphere. Picture having in your hand something that can transcend our knowledge of material science. This incredible item is more than we ever imagined possible. Its exterior contains no visible welds or seams and encourages us to assume that conventional human manufacturing techniques could never have been able to create it. Through the use of sophisticated scanning technology, 3 nested metallic shells existed at its core. Within these, hundreds of small spheres float in a liquid-like condition. The sphere features fiber optic-style cable flowing into a processing chip, something that's even more astounding when considering its mind-blowing properties. This is where things get truly mind-blowing. Reports indicate this sphere not only repels energy, but also consumes it. Scientists who have witnessed the phenomenon describe how concentrated beams of energy simply vanish upon contact without causing any heat generation, destruction, or normal physical effect. From a government scientist's perspective, seeing this technology would elicit 2 gut responses. One would be to investigate further, but the other could be to classify the findings at the moment. But the most chilling question isn't whether this technology exists. It's why official research abruptly ceased. Why did the scientific community remain mum regarding the greatest physics discovery of recent times? What are the implications of this sphere seemingly having the capacity to exhaust energy entirely? In light of the fact that it has the ability to absorb particle beams intended to annihilate space-based targets, what else is it able to absorb? When researchers place energy upon any object, 3 things occur. The energy gets absorbed and is converted into heat, reflects back like a mirror, or burns. These fundamental laws of physics have governed our world for centuries, but the Buga sphere violates all 3 laws. If something defies the very rules that shape our universe, could it be evidence of a technology or intelligence beyond Earth itself? Unusual properties and phenomena. Researchers from Mexico's National Autonomous University created complete high-resolution images of the enigmatic object. What they discovered undermined material science limitations. The triple-layer metal shell of the sphere holds dozens of microscopic spheres suspended inside. Each layer seems to be designed to react to electromagnetic energy in ways never before seen. The finding is really sinister once its implications are considered. Artificially designed metamaterials already have the ability to bend light and radio waves in strange directions, but researchers at MIT have made materials that have a negative refractive index. But nothing man ever constructed can completely absorb high-energy beams without showing some sign. Recent theoretical models suggest that the Buga sphere might operate on exotic matter principles. Consider Bose-Einstein condensates, cooled to almost absolute zero, where atoms behave like a single quantum system. Exotic matter principles, suggested by certain physicists, are that room-temperature quantum systems could cause previously unprecedented energy absorption effects. But here's the truly mind-bending aspect. Accounts are that the sphere doesn't merely absorb energy, it stores it or transmutes it into completely different states. Think of a device that can consume a nuclear reactor's entire output without showing any alteration outside. That's precisely what witnesses describe. The potential extends far beyond energy storage. Could this technology be employed to protect whole cities against directed energy weapons? Could it tap quantum vacuum fluctuations, leftover energy found throughout space? Could it be humanity's first practical harnessing of zero-point energy harvesting? Independent accounts document unusual occurrences around the globe. In weeks, its mass reportedly increased from 16 to 22 pounds. The impact zone had complete environmental devastation. Grass and soil would not regenerate for months, but radiation monitors picked up nothing hazardous. More strangely, viral videos demonstrate the sphere vibrating when individuals chant Sanskrit mantras in close proximity. Although scientists have not confirmed these acoustic interactions, they show the object reacting to certain patterns of frequency. This suggests technology is functioning under rules outside our present knowledge. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency now spends billions on directed energy research. Military scientists constructed sophisticated laser systems capable of negating incoming missiles. The Strategic Capabilities Office tests considerably on particle beam weapons for use as satellite defense systems. Advanced military science has surpassed science fiction and is a widely documented fact. From the perspective of a defense contractor, watching the Buga sphere completely absorb directed energy is a wondrous technological spectacle. This next-generation technology can neutralize weapons systems decades in the making by states. The strategic foundations for such technology are incredibly overpowering. Presently available missile defense technology relies on projectiles to intercept threats using conventional kinetic engagement principles, defending against missile threats. Laser defense technology utilizes heat destruction methods to zap away the target surface, while laser interception technologies are on the horizon. The appearance of objects capable of absorbing laser energy, as voids do in our universe, presents new and unique challenges. The introduction of laser-based missile defense would shift the global military landscape instantly. Any nation possessing actual energy absorption technology can easily neutralize directed energy weapons. Satellites with laser systems, beam weapons embedded in aircraft, and particle accelerators on the ground would be strategically obsolete resources. Besides the military point of view, MIT Lincoln Laboratory is also operating advanced radar systems capable of tracking orbital debris fragments measuring less than 3 millimeters. NASA's Goldstone station has monitoring gear capable of detecting metallic spheres at ranges over 1,000 kilometers. If the Bugasphere had been present in space, it would have been detected by these monitoring systems instantly. This leads to disquieting questions about the origins and whereabouts of the object. Initial analysis and public release of results were done by Mexican scientists. But once news came out about its unusual capacity for energy absorption, governmental scientific reports stopped dead in their tracks. But if all traces of its research vanished overnight, could it be because someone already knows what the Bugasphere truly is? Cover-up, secrecy, and historical context. Consider this harsh reality. Suppose you had technology to neutralize enemy advanced weapons. Would you make the research public? Would you expose other nations to reverse engineering defense technologies built over decades? Or would you classify it all immediately and remove it from civilian access? The uncomfortable truth is that groundbreaking technologies too often disappear into black programs long before public realization of their significance. Historical precedent would say this trend. The internet resulted from DARPA research decades in advance of civilian populace adoption, and GPS technology wasn't available to civilians until years after development. Historical records show some interesting parallels. In 1974, a shiny metal orb was found by the Betts family in a Florida forest. Much like the Buga sphere, it exhibited seamless construction with no visible welds or signature of manufacture. It displayed independent movement on surfaces with various flaws without being affected by gravity or the laws of momentum. Upon contact, it produced unusual vibrational effects for an extended period. Although through intensive scientific study, scientists were unable to explain its operating principles. The parallels between the two disciplines are striking. Both demonstrated impeccable construction, both demonstrated unexplainable physical behavior, and both drew intense scientific attention that eventually lost steam in the public eye. Following government agency intrigue, the bet sphere vanished into private hands. This pattern of unexplained metallic spheres continues through recorded history. All instances follow the same sequence. Initial scientific curiosity leads to silence or denial, and the items are lost to public inquiry before adequate explanations are provided. Ancient Sumerian texts describe deity spheres possessing storm and energy control powers. Mesoamerican codices document brilliant spheres dropping from celestial bodies with sacred knowledge. These are older than modern-day UFO tales. Consistently similar accounts are present in different civilizations, revealing a consistent story: round objects, advanced energy manipulation, and celestial or divine origins. Such revelations fundamentally redefine our understanding of reality itself. Ponder this eerie speculation. What if historical writings were not myth or early misinterpretation? What if they were precise accounts of technology appearing at intervals throughout the history of humans? If the Bugasphere is linked to a phenomenon recurring over centuries, this is more than a single, isolated mystery. This may be part of a greater trend we are only just starting to identify. The implications grow steadily more ominous when one considers contemporary science's findings regarding the impossible properties of the sphere. Remember that theoretical preprint in July of 2025 reporting sensational results on the Buga sphere? Those numbers should radically redefine our knowledge of physics. In a remarkable breakthrough that tests the laws of physics, physicists have discovered a ball that moves through space and time, but only at 19% of the normal mass. Just think of a car that accelerates 5 times more quickly than physics, or mass, allows. The effect is a continuation of measurements of a body that moves through our universe as if most of its mass doesn't exist. Its motion seems to contradict Newton's simple laws of motion, demonstrating record patterns of acceleration and deceleration. What makes this discovery truly amazing is its energy return. According to scientific reports, the sphere radiates a consistent 100 watts of cooling power. With no visible energy source, it extracts heat from where it is, basically an infinite refrigeration system that defies thermodynamics. This phenomenon offers one reason for the ecological disaster at the landing site, where grass and soil would immediately wither upon contact with the sphere. Several months later, showing no radiation or chemical pollution, nothing could be planted in the spoiled ground. The scientists postulate that an invisible force drained water from the site. But if the sphere could drain life from the Earth itself, what else might it be capable of taking next? Future possibilities and risks. Consider this option. Assume the sphere drains power at the quantum vacuum level, accessing energy from space's background energy field itself. This theory explains the cooling effect and environmental devastation. There is an equally intriguing puzzle that lies inside the sphere that may revolutionize information storage. High-resolution scans show exotic fiber optic cabling connected to a central processing unit. Instead of random debris, this advanced device appears to be built for advanced data processing. Now, consider this. What if that processing unit does not use traditional electronics? What if the device is using quantum states to hold information that surpasses anything available to our computers today? If we were to inject this type of data into advanced AI networks like DeepMind or NASA's quantum processors, we could potentially access all the revolutionary instructions, blueprints, or knowledge that could transform human civilization in a night. Implications for human civilizational advancement. The possibilities are genuinely terrifying when considering what such information might contain: manufacturing processes for impossible materials, energy manipulation techniques beyond known physics, and communication protocols for incomprehensible technologies. Before diving deeper into these extraordinary findings, let's examine the story's origins from the beginning. On March 2nd, 2025, residents near Buga, Colombia, witnessed something remarkable: a metallic sphere flying through the sky in an erratic zigzag pattern that defied normal aerodynamics. After it was destroyed in a field where the people collected it for scientific analysis, the physical appearance alone challenged all that we understand about production. The sphere is immaculately smooth with no seam, joint, or welds visible, something no factory on Earth can achieve with such precision. Mexican researchers José Luis Velázquez and Rodolfo Guerrero of UNAM conducted the initial analysis, finding 3 concentric shells of metal nested within each other. Dozens of tiny microspheres float in these layers, in fiber optic-like wiring attached to a central processing chip. In their press conference, they discussed characteristics never encountered before. Velázquez also said that despite having decades of cumulative experience in material research, none of them had ever seen anything like this. Mainstream news outlets, including People magazine and Fox News, featured in-depth discussions of the phenomenon. The ecological damage associated with the sphere was no more unsettling than its tangible presence. Complete ecological devastation characterized the landing site, where immediate death of grass and soil on contact with the object occurred. Despite extensive testing that found no radiation or chemical contamination, the affected area was still incapable of sustaining vegetation months after the incident. Some credible sources indicated a staggering increase in the sphere's mass over a period of time. Initial measurements recorded approximately 16 pounds, whereas subsequent estimates allegedly recorded 22 pounds. This remarkable shift violated conservation of mass, challenging one of the most fundamental principles of physics. The viral social media frenzy added an additional layer of intrigue to this already intriguing incident. Unconfirmed video footage caught groups chanting Sanskrit mantras alongside the sphere, with documented eyewitness accounts indicating apparent vibrational reactions to particular acoustic frequencies. Even while scientists were yet to be confirmed in such interactions, the similarity in several reports attested to real acoustic sensitivity. These incidents were reported observations from credentialed scientists using professional-level equipment and not just internet rumors or conspiracy theories. The out-of-this-world nature of these claims could not help but elicit serious skepticism from all manner of sources. University of San Diego, Dr. Julia Mossbridge offered a decidedly rational perspective in her Fox News interview. She postulated that the sphere was more like a large art installation and demanded rigorous testing before conclusions were reached. Mossbridge emphasized the importance of sending such objects to outside research centers, particularly Harvard's Galileo project, for extensive testing. Her conservative approach was characteristic of the mainstream scientific process for unconventional results. The tale met head-on with NASA's recorded capability and prior precedent. NASA possessed high-technology tracking equipment that was capable of detecting metal spheres no larger than 3 millimeters in diameter from more than 1,000 kilometers away. NASA's Goldstone tracking station kept monitoring space debris, fragments smaller than the Buga sphere. If any such fragment had been orbiting the Earth, NASA's detection system would instantly have located it. The Orbital Debris Program constantly monitors millions of objects using high-level radar facilities, including the haystack of MIT Lincoln Laboratory. NASA had a record of working on particle beam experiments in space that can provide context. The CPAC experiment, flown on space shuttle flights in the 1980s, contained an electron beam accelerator intended for investigating ionosphere physics while also demonstrating NASA's technical capability with directed energy systems. These tests were scientific and not defense-related in purpose. NASA initiated its official UAP study program in 2022 and provided public findings in September 2023. They emphasized transparency and science as part of their systematic review of unexplained aerial events. Lacking in this comprehensive report was even a reference to the Buga sphere, despite its stellar properties. This withholding acquired particular significance upon contemplation of its implications. If NASA had carried out directed energy experimentation upon a material that would completely absorb the beam, they would have had an unprecedented decision to publish breakthrough physical results or suppress findings potentially destabilizing global military balance. Assuming so, NASA possessed technological capability for detection as well as compelling motivations for concealment. Historical documents clearly established NASA's extensive background in directed energy testing. The mystery of why anyone would confess to putting an object so remarkable to conventional physics to the test is a mystery. The Buga sphere offers possibilities that could dramatically reorder human civilization. These are no scientific oddities. They are potential breakthroughs that could transform our existence. The phenomenon of energy absorption leaves many questions open. When the sphere supposedly absorbs directed energy beams, where does the power finally end up? The classical physics suggests three possible explanations: material damage, reflection, or heat conversion. These predicted responses are not explained by witnesses, suggesting that the sphere is employed as a storage device of exotic energy. Imagine it as an infinite charge capacity capacitor, or imagine the energy being transformed into states that are unfamiliar to us and beyond our current understanding of thermodynamics. The ramifications extend to vacuum energy harvesting and are even more mind-boggling. The barren ground at the landing site might represent the first sign of technology which taps directly into quantum vacuum fluctuations. This surrounding energy, present throughout space, could provide unlimited power to any civilization that is capable of harnessing it. The mass anomalies observed open up even more staggering possibilities. If the sphere is able to reduce its inertia by 81%, it is the first practical step in the direction of gravity manipulation technology. This would be the foundation for warp-like travel, reducing interstellar distances to irrelevance. Imagine the implications for human transportation: cars with negligible weight but full structural integrity, aeroplanes requiring minimal energy to traverse impossible velocities, and ships capable of reaching close stars within human lifetimes. The military applications are equally revolutionary. Any weapon with actual energy-absorbing technology would make directed energy weapons obsolete. Laser defense shields, particle beam satellites, and electromagnetic pulse generators would all be ineffective against an enemy capable of absorbing energy attacks. The largest question perhaps lies around the central processing chip contained within the sphere. If future AI models were capable of unlocking the information stored on that device, then humanity could possibly unlock scientific knowledge centuries beyond our own time. If they exist, they could alter energy production, transportation infrastructure, and national security overnight. Or they could vanish into government storage rooms, with us left wondering about stolen breakthroughs. The social impact extends far beyond mere intellectual interest. Technologies that manipulate energy and mass at the quantum level could stop climate change, make space colonization feasible, and transform every aspect of human civilization. What we know for sure is this: an impossible metal sphere fell from the sky in Colombia. Independent researchers documented properties violating core physics. It is claimed to be able to absorb concentrated energy in a manner that is impossible to occur. When testing purportedly exceeded civilian capacity, the entire affair disappeared from mainstream scientific discussion. This is a trend that suggests revelations too big or too dangerous for public knowledge. Technologies that could transform human civilization just vanish into black programs before we are able to understand their consequences. So, what really happened to the Buga sphere after NASA's silence? Was it hidden or harnessed? If this technology exists, the world may never be the same. What do you believe? Comment your thoughts and don't forget to like and subscribe for more mysteries uncovered.